Hi there everyone! It's me again, Catherine, from English with Catherine. Here I am, sitting at my table with a cup of tea and a candle burning. This really is the most comfortable way to film a YouTube video. So I hope you've had a good week. It's Friday. I hope you've got that Friday feeling and you're ready for the weekend. I know I am. And just to say welcome to the new subscribers who have recently clicked that lovely subscribe button. Hi. And to my lovely loyal subscribers, of course. So this is part 3 of a 3-part series called I Say This Every Day. And these videos are all about natural daily English that I use in my everyday life, just doing normal things. Now in this video, I'm going to be teaching similar English to in the other 2 videos, but in this one, there are a few more situations. In everyday life, you have to do boring things like going to the dentist and the doctors and the hairdressers. And of course, when I do these things, I speak English. You just can't avoid it. Even with artificial intelligence now, we still need to go and get a haircut. Although maybe in the future there will be a robot to do that instead. I hope not. I can't wait to teach you this natural English. So let's get started. Number 1, the hairdressers. By the way, we say hairdressers in Britain. I think they say the salon in American. You do hear salon here, we pronounce it salon, but you're more likely to hear hairdressers, which is the proper name for the shop where you get your hair done. I'm really bad with getting my hair cut. I just don't really have time, and then I'll catch sight of myself in the mirror and I'll be like, oh, okay, you need to go and get a trim. Students are terrified to go to English-speaking hairdressers because if you get it wrong, you could come out of the hairdressers with no hair, or just, you know, less hair than you really wanted to, or blue hair or green hair. Okay, that would be quite extreme, but you know what I mean. So what we say is, I'd like to have 2 inches off. Please, could I have 3 inches off? Could I just have half an inch off, please? Just half an inch, I'm growing my hair. Or, take it all off, I want a complete change. Or, shave the sides, I'm in the mood for a new style. What I normally say is, can I just have a trim? And that means just a little bit off the ends, just to make it look healthy really. Not much of a change particularly, but yeah, I always ask for a trim. And if you want a fringe, you say, can I have a full fringe cut in, please? Or if you want it to do that, can I have curtain bangs or a curtain fringe cut in, please? So yeah, now you know how to naturally ask for a haircut in England. I challenge you, when you next go to the UK, to go into a hairdresser's and ask for a haircut in English. And don't blame me if it goes wrong. Number 2, talking about your holiday plans. Now in Britain, we love small talk, and this can terrify students or people that have just moved to the country. It can be quite intense. People do love to have small talk here. It's usually something about the weather, what are you doing that day? Usually people say, what are you up to later today? And this small talk happens a lot in supermarkets when you're paying for something. Thank God for self-service checkouts for some people who are terrified of talking to the cashier. So there's always another option for those people. So small talk happens in supermarkets. It also happens in the hairdressers, which I just told you about. So if it's the summer, while the hairdresser is cutting your hair or highlighting or dyeing your hair, she might say to you, ooh, so are you going anywhere nice this summer? And what we say as a reaction is, I'm going away next week to Spain or to France or wherever you're going. We use I'm going away here. Away just means far from your country that you are in. So it's almost like saying I'm escaping, I'm running away from my life, I need a break. So we're going away tomorrow, we're going away next week, we're going away in a month's time. And we don't just use this in small talk, we use this all the time. We're talking to our friends, our families, updating them on what we're doing. So that is the most natural way to talk about where you're going and when on holiday. Number 3, asking someone to wait. Now let me give you a bit more information on what I mean. If you just are on the phone to someone, or you're on a call with someone, a business call, and you need to do something like go and answer the door if you're at home, or you just have to go and quickly do something, you have to tell that person to wait. But there's a particular way that we do that here. And what gave me this idea is that my student, in the middle of our English class, he just said, wait. And I remember thinking, oh, it was quite abrupt, and it wasn't what I'm used to. And I'm not saying that I was offended, you know, that's crazy. But I just remember thinking, oh, that's not how we say that. That's quite direct. We are much softer in English, and we have a way of saying everything in a softer way. And this is an example of that. So we say, just a second, just a moment, hang on just a second, just give me a second. Okay, there's a few options there. But yeah, that's what we say. And it just gives that person a bit of warning that you want them to wait a minute. You can say this on the phone, you can say this while you're with someone, you know, if you need to just go off and do something, like answer a call as well. That's another good one. If you're with someone and your phone rings, you can say, just a second. One moment, please. Just give me 2 seconds. And sometimes we say just a sec instead of second, just to make it quicker. So just a sec, or just a minute. We can say just a minute as well. But all of these are fine. Don't say wait. It's a bit too abrupt and it won't sound quite right. Number 4, the dentists. Here's another situation that you might have to deal with in your daily life in the UK or somewhere where there's English-speaking dentists. So I don't mind the dentist, but my dad will do anything to avoid the dentist. Even if he's in chronic pain, he will still just say, oh, I'll just sleep on it and I'll see how I feel in the morning. By the way, to sleep on it means to go to bed and decide how you feel the next day. So basically sleep and then think about the problem in the morning. It's just delaying the problem a bit longer. Sometimes we need to do this if we need to make a decision, right? No decisions are made at night, my mum always says. Sleep on it and decide in the morning. But yeah, he hates the dentist, and it's probably because he has really bad teeth. Luckily, I take after my mum. If you remember the phrasal verb to take after, that means to inherit something genetically from a parent or an ancestor, physically or mentally in your personality. So luckily I take after my mum. I don't really have many problems with my teeth. I used to wear braces when I was younger, but then didn't everyone? But I think, yeah, my dad just isn't very lucky. So anyway, what we do in the UK generally is every 6 months you have a checkup, and it's called the hygienist. And the hygienist, I'm sure it's the same in your country, she just like cleans your teeth really, really well, and you walk out of the dentist feeling like a new person because you feel like your teeth are like sparkling and shining. So the scariest thing is to call up the dentist and make an appointment. Because, as I'm sure you'll agree, it's always really scary to make phone calls in English, isn't it? Because you don't have their body language to help you understand them, or their, you know, their facial expressions. It's really, really hard. So, how do we make an appointment? I will tell you. I'm due for an appointment with a hygienist. Is it okay if I book that in? Or, if you have something wrong with your tooth or teeth, I'd like to book a dentist appointment, please. I'm having trouble with my teeth. Obviously. So the pronunciation of I'm due is not due, okay? Even though it's spelt D-U-E. It's actually pronounced as due. I'm due. I'm due an appointment. I'm due an appointment with the hygienist. Number 5, talking about the weather. Now, I can't believe I've made 2 videos like this already, and I haven't even mentioned the weather, which is such a huge part of our culture, small talk, how we communicate with each other. It's so important. And as I've told you before, the whole reason for that is that the weather in the UK changes so often. So it's kind of this source of mystery and amusement because, you know, you could just look out the window and it could be perfect sunshine, and then 10 minutes later there's just a storm happening, or just a big rain cloud comes over in a matter of seconds. But let me show you how exactly we say it. So when engaging in small talk, you're talking about the weather in the same day, so later that day, we say, it's supposed to rain later on, it's supposed to brighten up later on. So we use it's supposed to, meaning we predict this. We reckon that it's going to do that based on the weather forecast. So I've got my BBC weather app on my phone, which I diligently check about 300 times a day. I've become a little bit obsessed. It's actually quite strange. And it literally tells you, I'm sure you know about this app, but it literally tells you like, so right now it says sunny intervals and a gentle breeze, 18 degrees. But then when it hits 10 o'clock, it's going to rain, apparently. So that is very important, okay? So if you don't learn anything else from this video, learn how to talk about the weather in the same day, the afternoon of the same day. It's supposed to brighten up for sunny weather, and it's supposed to rain, or it's supposed to tip it down. That's a lovely expression. To tip it down is heavy rain, so a lot of rain. Number 6, supporting friends' ideas. Now, I know we've all got friends that have plans in their life. You know, they have wild ideas, dreams, ambitions. I certainly do. I have some really interesting friends who have some great ideas. And, you know, it's nice to be a good friend and show that you support their ideas, even if they're a bit crazy sometimes. But sometimes a friend just wants you to be like motivating them and showing enthusiasm for what they want to do. So what we say is, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a nice way of saying, yeah, that's logical. I can see that that might work. I can see that that plan has got potential. So the other day, my friend, who's really, really struggling in her 9-to-5, very stressful job, she said to me, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to open a hotel for dogs. Okay, just so you know, she loves dogs. She's got 2 of them and they are absolutely everything to her. And she has this dream of opening a hotel for dogs because nowadays everybody has a dog, and you know, when you go on holiday you need to leave your dog somewhere, and she wants to make a hotel for dogs. And I think this has already been done in the UK, but she has this lovely idea, and I was just like, that makes sense. That's a great plan. That's a great idea. I really support you. Here is some bonus material, and you might laugh when you hear what it is. Okay, so you know when you have to cough and you're like and you try to cough and then you're like, oh God, it's not going away. The cough is like, and it's really embarrassing, and you're like, you don't have any water, and it's actually turning into quite a serious situation, especially if you're in a business meeting or something and you're like having a coughing fit. What we say is, I've got a frog in my throat. We actually say this. I've got a frog in my throat. It's just something we say, which is actually quite cute. I mean, no one wants a frog in their throat. That's literally the worst thing I can imagine. But that's what we say. Something is in your throat, it's stopping you from being able to clear your throat, and it's just a nice way to lighten the mood and stop any awkwardness, because as you know, us British people, we hate awkwardness. We don't like awkward silences. We will always try to fill them with something. So yeah, if you're having a coughing fit, say, I've got a frog in my throat. Well, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the new cozy environment with the candle and the tea. I hope you had a nice relaxing time watching it. As usual, click the subscribe button if you feel like it. That would be wonderful. I will be making more videos like this. I know this was just a 3-part series, but it has given me even more ideas of what I could teach you. Lucky you! Comment down below with what you thought of the video, and yeah, I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye!